If you're much like me, then perhaps we share this one thing in common, and that is the unrealistic expectations of what perfect is. And in a way, it's kind of crippling, and it keeps you from moving from one thing to the next. All in all, just never doing the thing itself. So for example, you want to start a business, or you want to do a certain program, or maybe you want to create a certain application, and you have this idea in your head of what you need it to be, but then again you're not sure if that is enough to meet your criteria for what is perfect. And instead of then going on and trying to do that thing, you end up never doing it at all, or in a cycle where you think you can do it, you don't want to do it, because then it will kill your dream of what you want it to be. It's kind of a confused situation, or a confused state, that you don't want to go forward because it does not reflect what you want, or you don't want to go forward because you're afraid that people might not take it the way that you want them to. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. But if you're one of them, and you're one of the people with this kind of crippling perception of perfection, then I think there is a way that we can work that out. And although it's not perfect, and it might need some tweaking for you than it does for me, I think there is a way. There are a few reasons why perfection is good, and there are a few reasons why perfection is bad. Say for example, if we had no reasoning of what perfection is, then we would never have any ambitions at all. If we never had an idea of what our perfect tomorrow would be, then there would be no goal for us to set so that we can try and achieve it. If you think about it, perfection is something that we have to keep chasing. It's like nirvana. You might never get there, so to say, but it's a good thing to try and catch, if you get what I mean. The more I think about it, perfection has been one of the things that has driven me to move so far, so fast, and it has enabled me to see things differently. I try to achieve a certain level of perfection. I try to achieve a certain kind of dream that I want, and that I feel that I must get to. I'm fully aware that it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, I might never get there anyway, but it's a good thing that keeps my hope on. It keeps me moving forward, and it kind of keeps me in check. One of those reasons is, one, it can be quite depressing if you're trying to chase a certain level of perfection without the foreknowledge of it might never get to that point where you want it to be. And you don't want to get to a position where perfection makes you depressed. The second thing is, you can feel like you're not good enough, which is then again also can lead back to depression, or can keep you from even trying. You shield yourself, you limit your abilities to such a point that you cannot even move forward to where you would have gone to if you had just tried. That reason why not try to chase perfection would be, you always keep moving the goalpost. You always need to keep moving, because perfection in of itself is not attainable. It's something that always keeps shifting. If, for example, you are making, say, 50,000 per month, I'll talk about it in terms of money. If you're making, say, 50,000 a month, or something like $300 per month, then there is also $500 per month, which is the next better thing. And then there is, again, when you get to 500, there is 700, and then finally there is 1,000. And then when you get to 1,000, which was probably your peak at some point, 2,000 starts to look a bit better. And it's not bad to want more, but then if you never get to a point where something becomes enough, you might get greedy, which is another problem that we'll talk about another time. Or you might end up feeling insufficient in yourself, like, I'm not doing enough, I'll never be happy because what I'm chasing is something that I'm not getting. In of itself, perfection can be crippling to this effect, and if you're not cautious enough to these things that you should not do when chasing perfectionism, and if you do not appreciate the fact that you are moving, you might not be perfect, yes, but you are moving, you are consistently moving, and moving is good enough. For now, moving is good enough. Perfection will never be reached. There is this Japanese saying of wabi-sabi. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's an art form of appreciating the imperfections of something, say like art. If you think about it in a general way, the only thing that makes us as human beings unique from each other and that makes us perfect in our own ways is our flaws, the kind of things that we have done that have set us apart from other people. Because if we were programmed like systems or computers to be chunking out results in the same way, the same manner, then we would all be just a copy of one thing. But the fact that we can make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and move on and change, adapt to those mistakes that have happened either to us, from other people, or that we have committed ourselves, then we would never allow ourselves to change, because perfection is something that we strive for. It's not something that we attain. It's not, you can never get to a point where you say, I think I am perfect now. If you're there, good, that's good, that's for you. But most of us, normal human beings, will never get to a point where we think we are perfect now. But if we keep striving for it, and if we keep looking forward to being better than we are today, I think then this way maybe we can progress and we can move on. There are a few things that maybe we can do to try and handle how we look at our lives, because we can never achieve perfection. One, it's just to do it now. Just do it now. There is no reason for you to wait for things, for conditions, for situation, for anything to be perfect for you to start. Say for example, you've wanted to start a job, you have wanted to put up maybe that website, you have wanted to move into a new career path, but you keep waiting for that perfect time, for that perfect moment. Why not just do it now when everything is still imperfect, but you're still in control? Just do it now, even if it's not to a large scale. Say you don't have that big capital to get started, how you want it to look, how you want it to the nitty-gritty. You don't have all that marked out for you, but you can start. You want to start that YouTube channel, then you have your phone, you can write, you can talk to the camera, right? Get started. Take that chance. Put up that camera, make a video, post it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Who cares anyway? I mean, the only people that are going to watch will be probably you and a few people that this content gets suggested to. So what do you have to lose? Your dignity? I mean, by you not doing it, you've already lost it. You lost who you are. So why not do it just now? So just do it. The second thing that you might want to adapt, or that you should adapt, is knowing that imperfection is okay. That small thing that you feel that hasn't yet fallen into place, it's not necessary. It's not what will break what you want to do. It's just a setback. It's just a small glitch in what you're trying to achieve. And if you just make it a little bit closer to it, then probably it will give itself and you will be on your way. So imperfection is okay. Not being even close to perfect is also okay. the simple mistakes that we make are what makes us great. So it sets us apart, because if you have nothing to fall back to, if you have nothing that gave you a certain lesson, then that lesson might not have the same impact if it's told to you. So the fourth thing is sometimes we don't appreciate ourselves as much as we should, and sometimes it's good to sit back and tell yourself, last year I was not at the same place where I am today. I think I've done good on this part. I think that even if I failed, I think I did this a little bit better than I could have. And even if there is more to be done, then I think for now I have done something that is worth me appreciating myself. By appreciating yourself, I don't mean that you break the bank and go to Dubai for the holiday. If you can, that's okay. That's okay, that's good. If you can reward yourself for something great that you've done by doing something out of the world, then go on ahead and do it. But even the small things that we do day by day, the mundane things that we probably don't even pay attention to, sometimes are worth you appreciating. The fifth thing would be, it's never perfect. It will never be perfect. And even though there is a possibility that it could, it shouldn't have to be. The much that you're doing, the much that you've done, and the level at which that you're doing it at the moment, that far is enough. That much is enough. That video is enough the way it is. You don't need to put anything more into it, just upload it that way. On the next video, we will build up from where you are at the moment, but that's okay for now. That business is okay. It doesn't have to be a mall, it can be a shop, that's okay. You will build from there. Lower the bar for your expectation of things. Sometimes I tell people to lower the expectations of the future or the expectations of a certain result, and they think that perhaps maybe I'm trying to limit them, or I'm trying to say that it's not achievable. But by lowering your expectations or lowering the bar of a certain expectation, by no sense do I mean that you should never hope too big or you should never dream too big. No. The point of you lowering the bar is for you to set it to an achievable level, so that you can always have a gradual movement from your success today to your success tomorrow. Because sometimes if you don't see yourself progressing from one point to the next, it starts to become this pointless thing that you're doing, and it can be quite discouraging. So even if you have that perfection point, or you want to get that 100% done, you will never be able to do it in a day. Let's be just clear about that, and let's be open and truthful. You can never complete an entire building in a day, or you can never build an empire in a day, no. But you can gradually build it. You build 10% today, you build another 10% on the 10% you did today, that's 20. And gradually over time you will get to the point where that bar is where it's supposed to be. But if you set it up too high, then you might not be able to move from here to there. So that you can see yourself progressing, moving from point A to point B, then lowering the bar is the only option that you have, so that you can be able to record a success. It's all about the small wins. It's the small wins that count eventually, and the small wins add up. The 1% rule by the Atomic Habits, James Clear. 1% of compounded habits. So finally, is it possible for you to move from the place where you feel that your perfectionism is crippling you, and where you feel like you never do things enough? The simple answer is, while you might never stop feeling like that, and while all things held constant, you will always feel that you are insufficient in some way. It's always good to know that although this is something that you will continually feel, and it's not something that you can just push and shove down, you can always do these three things, and I can assure you, you'll always feel better and be able to move forward. One, you can stop judging yourself by other people's metrics. Your success is not really capped by someone else. If they have a house by 21 years and you are 25 years, their success doesn't influence your success in any way. It's not about who you're comparing yourself to. It's about you and your progress. It's you and your journey. After all, it's your journey, not anyone else's. So concentrate on that. You can achieve anything you want to, but set realistic expectations depending on the situation that you are in right now. If you are only able to raise maybe say $1,000 per month as savings, that's okay. That's your catch, and that's what you have at the moment, and that's okay. According to your expectations, you should not expect maybe to buy that Lamborghini by next year, but there is something that you can do with that 1,000 that can set you up on that path to get that car. The final thing is, it's okay to be imperfect. It's clearly okay. There is no one that's judging you. As much as it might feel like people are watching you and they're judging you, no one is really caring. Everyone is just worried about their life. Everyone is just walking around carrying their own burdens, and if you concentrate on what they are carrying in their heads instead of concentrating on you, then you're just carrying a burden that's not there in the first place. So accept being imperfect is okay, and you working on yourself is okay. That's it for this one. I hope that you've enjoyed and you've learned something. See you in the next one.